Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play SaGa 2 Goddess of Destiny. Last time around we were here ascending the tower of Edo Castle. We heard that the villain atop this tower, like many of the villains we've encountered so far, has an interest in the relics. And as a guardian, it's Ronin's responsibility to stop him. And as searchers for the relics ourselves, we have an interest in this matter as well. So, let's see, we've been locked inside this room with a group of enemies. We have 4 rocks, pretty simply put there, and we have 4 tarantulas as well. Let's go ahead and drop a leopard too. We only have 3 uses of this left, but I want to drop it, so we're going to drop that on the tarantulas. We can see the missile here in Virtue's hand, or not really in his hand, but more like replacing his hand because he's a robot. Anyway, he has 5 uses of this missile for each time we rest at the inn. So let's go ahead and try one out right now. That's going to hit all enemies. It's the first time we've seen a non-LED character do that. And of course we have the Samurai Ronin with us as well. He's going to use his Muramasa on those rocks. It's interesting that he's called Ronin. Like, doesn't that mean that he's like a samurai in service of no one, or like belonging to no lordship or whatever? I don't know. It seems like as a member of the Guardians that's not an apt title, that he is very much in service of a lord, being the colonel. But I guess with the colonel out of the picture, he's not anymore, but he was called Ronin before that too. Anyway, this whole quandary was avoided in the original game because he wasn't even named Ronin. He had some other name, and I wish I could remember what it was, but alas, I do not. You know, I forgot to use the Aegis shield with Elodie, but she managed to do pretty well without it. Let's use the Blizzard. We just have 1 enemy left, so yeah, let's just run through some attacks here. Actually, Natsumer needs to start conserving her weapons. No use to use any of them on this single rock. Everyone else can take care of it just fine. In fact, that Muramasa blade attack does the job all by itself. But Natsumer gets a max HP increase, and we get a meat, but since we're all vegetarians, we're going to leave it behind and keep on going. Get 2,000 Kiro for our trouble, along with a little bit of MP from Uter, and I'm going to have to fight the enemy. Yeah, I am going to have to fight the other enemy in here as well, because this is not the end yet. Looks like phantoms, maybe? Let's see, fairies, Orochi, and rocks. Okay, a lot of enemies here. I am going to remember to use the Aegis shield at the top of the round here with Elodie. Going to continue using the cross counter with Zenith, conserving his other things. Natsumer, however, is free to use the explosive photons on these fairies. Let's get those out of the picture. There's so many of them. I'm going to launch the missiles with Virtue again. That seems like a fun idea. And Muramasa, we'll place that on... Let's put it on the rocks. I find the rocks a lot more threatening than the Orochi. And since Ronin cannot use group attacks, combo attacks rather, it doesn't... There's no, like, expectation that his attack will be redirected the same way my other characters are sometimes. Oh yeah, I forgot just how neutralized these fairies actually are by the Aegis shield. That all makes my characters immune to pretty much everything they can do, so really nothing to worry about from them. I probably could have put my attacks on the rocks instead, but the rocks didn't seem all that threatening last battle either, so I probably don't have much to worry about just in general. Still immune to that sleep, guys. Alright, but there's an attack on Zenith, meaning he gets to use his cross counter, and that's going to lead right into a combo attack with Natsumer powering up her explosive photons to a stun grenade, which should take out all those Orochi. Yeah, wonderful. And another worthless sleep spell from the fairy there. Are we going to get anything productive at all out of those fairies this round? I don't think so. We do have a ram attack, which is going to trigger yet another cross counter, leading into yet another combo attack. Like, when you're getting extra actions... Ooh, a thermoblast. Fantastic. Yeah, when you're getting extra actions out of counter attacks, that just increases the likelihood of you getting combo attacks, because you get to, in essence, attack more than the number of times you have more times than you have characters in a single round, which you wouldn't get to do otherwise. This looks like a good opportunity to use my Staff of Healing. It's kind of dwindling in its uses, but I don't mind using it, since I am planning on buying one in the near future if I do remember that. Let's see, gonna put an Arquebus here. Oh, down to just 2 enemies again. So I'm gonna continue to conserve Natsumer's weaponry. We'll go ahead and put a Yoshiyuki and a Muramasa over here on this rock. And hopefully Zenith will get a counterattack if this doesn't quite do the job. Is he going to counter this thunder? Does he counter magic attacks? No, he doesn't. Okay, he only counters physical attacks. Would have been nice to get a counter out of him since the fairy was not taken down by Virtue's attack. But that did mean that Elodie got to use the Staff of Healing. Alright, so let's just go all out and do what we can about this last fairy. Gonna conserve Zenith and Natsumer's attacks, but everyone else attack away. Oh, and we even have one of our muses here to help us out with the Lightning Star attack, which will finish out the fight. Wonderful. Okay, we get another iteration, or another instance, I should say, of Poison Fog on Elodie, meaning she's losing Cold Wave. She lost Poison Fog for Cold Wave, and now she has Poison Fog back, meaning that she has two instances of Poison Fog once again. And with those enemies out of the way, I get to find out what's in this chest. It appears gold on my map, so I'm expecting something good here. What have we got? We have a dragon sword. Okay. Well, if that's anything like the dragon armor I've come to know and love, I'm very happy to have that. Probably something that's going to replace one of these swords here. Actually, let's see. The Yoshiyuki and the Arondite were equally powerful. Let's actually see what replacing the fire shield with it would do for us. Alright, let's see, Dragon Sword, wow, okay, so not only is this the most powerful sword we have so far, it deals damage equal to strength times 14, that looks like a pretty drastic strength increase. How does that compare to the Yoshiyuki? I wonder, let's see. Yeah, it looks like a straight upgrade to the Yoshiyuki here, so I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. No need to lower his defense for yet another sword, so let's equip that there. The Dragon Sword, named similarly to the Green Dragon Blade we've had previously. A less fanciful name, perhaps, but a much more powerful weapon. Let's equip my stealth map ability if I haven't. Oh, I have already. Okay, wonderful. It's been a couple of weeks since I recorded the previous episode, so I don't totally remember everything as it was left off last time. But I did know that I was locked in a room, which is all I needed to get started there. Are we to the top yet? I'm still not to the top of this tower. How big is this? All right. Let's stealth our way past some more enemies. I don't know why I said that. I hate the use of the word stealth as a verb. It doesn't seem right. I know that like WoW kids say that a lot. That's where I've heard it in the past. Anyway, I should be more careful about my uses of the relic powers since I only have 4 uses left. Oh, we have a dragon shield in this chest here, but my inventory is full, so I'm gonna have to drop something like it's hot. But what do I lose? Let's lose this golden needle, because petrification would be a problem if it ever happens to me, but I have the Stardust Staff, which takes care of that. Oops, I canceled. And then, okay. Drop the gold needle. I did it. Okay, now I'm getting a dragon shield, which will probably replace one of the 2 shields I have on Zenith, giving him not quite a full suite of dragon items, since he doesn't actually have the dragon armor that everyone else has. Oh, he does have a dragon shield already. I totally forgot. He already has a dragon shield, but is a dragon shield better than a fire shield? I should remember this, but like I said, it's been a little while. Okay, Dragon Shield beats a Fire Shield, so he's just going to have 2 Dragon Shields for a while, raising his defense to an astounding 76, quite high. But that's pretty much what I expect from a robot character, is astonishingly high stats. Looks like we're coming up on the end here. Pretty interesting looking place here. Not even stairs. Is this going to actually take us up to another floor or just to a different room? It is just a different room. The Shogun's living room. Okay. We got a Yoichi's bow. Wonderful. Okay, this was just called the Samurai bow in the original game, and if I remember correctly, it was one of the best weapons in the game, but I don't remember specifically why that was the case. What am I dropping for this? Let's see. Probably a high potion, since I have multiples of those. And it's not really a great weapon for me, or a great item for me. Anyway, I have a high potion with 2 uses left, so why don't I go ahead and I'll use one of those on Virtue since his HP increased, but I don't have a use for the other one since Elodie used her Staff of Healing in the last encounter, so I'm just throwing away a single use of a high potion, no big deal there, and I'm getting a Samurai bow out of it. Or a Yoichi's bow, I suppose. I don't have a bow-using character, but maybe Virtue will want this more than he wants the Ninto, because it's probably an agility increasing item. Let's see, where is it? Where's that Yoichi's bow? Yeah, it is an agility increasing item, and a pretty dramatic one at that. A blessed and infallible bow, infallible, once wielded by a legendary hero. That deals damage equal to weapon 1000. Okay, that's a really, really high number, 4 digits. And it's also going to increase his agility significantly by 12 points, actually. And I was just saying, I expect robot characters to have the highest stats, but he has the highest stat in all 3 of them, save for agility, which he's actually second best in, but second only to Zenith. Actually, I'm surprised to see Natsmer's agility has gotten so far behind. But anyway, like I said, Virtue doing very well in stats, and his HP increased again, so I would kind of like to have had that potion. Let's see, am I ready for this fight? Yeah, I guess there's not anything else for me to do. So, without further delay, let's take on the Shogun here. One of the many villains we've encountered who's after the relics. They're very powerful, and you can do a lot of different cool things with them. Shogun here, what does he want to do? Well, we're not going to find out just yet, because we got to fight him first. All right, we have the Shogun, and let's see. What I remember about this fight is actually let's just figure things out as we go. No need to make guesses. Well, I was gonna say I remembered him inflicting confuse quite frequently, but you know Venus did that too. So maybe he's different in this game. Maybe the Shogun being the confuse boss was sort of like replaced by Venus being the charm boss. Look at this dragon sword. That looks more like an anchor than a sword. It's like Ward's weapon in Final Fantasy VIII. All right, so let's do it though. Let's drop the dragon sword on this guy. I've been saying drop a lot. I don't know why. All right, let's roll out here. Gonna start with the Aegis shield, powering up everyone's defenses. Muramasa's gonna deal some damage, as is the flying knee kick, which is getting pretty low in uses. Oh, he's riddling. All right, so this is probably going to confuse some people. It would, except we're all immune because of the Aegis shield. So okay, never mind. We're not going to be seeing any confusion in this battle because of that. Oh, man, that Aegis shield is just so good. And don't worry, if you're worried about me using this with Elodie for like the rest of the game, I'm not planning to. There are other things she's going to be doing. You are going to get to see plenty more of her magic to come, because the Aegis shield is not going to be as effective or as available for the rest of the game as it is right now. I'll just leave it at that. Let's see. Keep on attacking, everybody. Seems to be going well so far. As long as all he does is riddle us, then we're never actually going to take any damage. And if he just wants to do that 90 damage attack like he just did on Natsmer, that's perfectly fine too. In fact, I probably don't even need to use threads to get through this. Okay, yeah, that's over. So, a pretty anticlimactic battle, and we only get one Kiro for our trouble, but it's not just over yet. Don't think that we've done everything we have to do here in Edo Castle just because we defeated the Shogun. His father's around. His father, not someone we've heard a whole lot about, but he's disappointed with the Shogun's blundering. Man, look at this guy. So each villain we've encountered in this world, 3 of them now, has just sort of stepped up the other. We had the merchant at the bottom, the Shogun above him, and now we've finally gotten to the root of the problem, the magnate here. Time for your departure. This monstrous-looking character, much more in line with the other new gods we've seen in the past. Sort of relic-empowered figure. Looks like we're gonna have to chase him up the stairs. Am I gonna get the chance to heal before this next encounter? Actually, I think I do, but let's see what's happening here. He's just looking out on the moon. All right, so we have some enemies running around here, and additionally, we can actually fight these statues over here on either side of him. I don't think there's any point to doing that, though. But I guess I might as well. Here, let's just go ahead and fight the thing. If I remember correctly in the original game, you don't get any money or anything from fighting these. They're just here, and I'm not entirely sure why. But I'm sure there's some reason that I've forgotten or that I never knew. Let's use the Aegis shield, of course. And let's keep working on the triple lunge rather than the flying knee kick there. We'll use an arquebus here, a dragon sword. Gonna have to buy a new weapon for Natsmer sooner or later if I want to continue conserving that laser gun of hers, since the arquebus is getting a little bit low. I love the look of this enemy though. This sort of like fish statue brought to life. It doesn't move that much though. It's just sort of sitting there with its dentures staring at us. It's got some water current fangs. Look out, everyone. All right, I probably could have been countering with Zenith actually, but I didn't know that it was going to attack him, so I don't know why I say that. All right, we'll put a blizzard there. I am going to switch to the cross counter though, and just to conserve his other weapons, I guess. And let's roll out here. Muramasa there, 300 damage. Stacking Elodie this time, so Zenith's not actually going to get to do anything, but it's okay. I think I'm going to win this one anyway. We're empowering Elodie's blizzard, so we're going to get a SaGa out of her, which means we might get a blessing from Thalia at the end of the fight, since she always tends to favor me when I use those magic combos. Let's use a poison fog this turn, see if that's effective at all. Keep using cross counter here. Let's do nothing with Natsmer. Keep her sidelined to conserve her weapons. Looks like Virtue's new dragon sword has fewer uses than some of his other swords have, but since I can equip so many swords to him at the same time, it's not really a big deal if one of them runs out of uses. Ooh, I can't actually poison this thing. He's not a real statue, I guess. Just some fish sitting around on land. Okay. Only took 1 damage from the... Oh, no, that means only 1 enemy took damage from the poison. That's right. We'll give him a triple lunge. This seems to be going on longer than I expected it to. This thing's got a lot of HP for a non-boss. If you can even call it a non-boss, I guess it's sort of a unique encounter, so it might be considered a boss, but whatever. We're immune to the electric attack because of the Aegis shield from the top of the fight. The fact that that Aegis shield lasts the entire battle once you've used it, that's not how it's supposed to work, right? Like, that seems like it should be a bug and that it was intended to go away after the first round, and it just was that way in the first game, so it was maintained that way in this game. Like, that's only speculation, but it seems to me that it's so powerful it shouldn't do what it does. Alright, keep attacking, everybody. I'm using up all these weapons, but I do kind of want to get through this fight and get on to the real battle here, but I thought it was worth doing this one, because even though I don't think you get anything out of it, it's there. It's the only time we're going to see this enemy as far as I'm aware. And we did get some stat increases, so it wasn't for nothing. Max HP on Elodie, Agility on Zenith, and Strength on Natsmer, so a little bit of potpourri there. A little bit of everything for everybody. And the fish is even still sitting there. He's not even dead after I fought him. Okay, so let's heal, and then let's fight this final boss of this world. Okay, I brought everyone back up to full using Ronin's Cure Tome, and I additionally saved just for safety's sake. So as I suspected, the magnet's trying to turn into a god using the power of the relics, and we've just delivered all 65 of our relics directly to him, so he's not going to let us go at this point. We have the Ōgosho, yeah, he was called the Magnet in the original game, or Magnate, but a little bit of a different name here. Let's start with the Aegis Shield, of course. Let's use the punch here. Last time I had a major boss encounter, I used the final hit of one of Zenith's punches, and that's how we finished off the boss. Let's see if we can maybe repeat that again here. Let's use the Leopard 2 from Natsmer, use up the final 2 uses of that in this fight. And of course the Dragon Sword will be Virtue's attack, and the Muramasas will be Ronin's. Let's roll. Starting with the Aegis Shield, of course. That'll make us immune to some things, but the immunity's probably not as relevant here, because as you can see, he uses a wind attack, and wind, not being one of the 4 sort of magical elements of this game, is not affected by all. It's actually one of the cool things that I like about this game, is that it doesn't use the 4 classical elements. It has fire, but instead of water we have ice, instead of earth we have poison, and instead of wind we have thunder. So a little bit of a different palette, not that innovative, like those are all sort of elements you expect to see in an RPG anyway, but having those 4 be the ones front and center is just different enough to make it interesting. And plus, I like seeing poison. Poison's a little bit more of an obscure one, like it's one of the Pokemon types, and there's like bio in the Final Fantasy games, but it doesn't ever get as much attention as like your fires and your ices. So having that be one of the major elements of this game. Oh, and there we did see the immunities come into play, because he did not use the Divine Wind. It looked like he used Thunder instead, so we'll occasionally be seeing some of the effects of all, but his most powerful attack is definitely that Divine Wind. And I only have 3 Staff of Healing uses, something to be aware of. Speaking of poison, let's see if he's vulnerable to it. Probably not, but it would be nice if he was. Let's see. Yeah, continue using the Arquebus with Natsmer, Dragon Sword here, and Muramasa here, of course. Pretty cool scenery here, up on top of this rooftop with a full moon in the background. Really dramatic, like a samurai film epic conclusion, which is I think where they're going for here with the Edo time period and all of the dress that goes along with it. Dropping a corrosive mist here and powered off of Natsmer's turn. He is immune to it, good to know. Let's see. I'm going to have her go on healing duty from here on out, assuming he continues to deal damage to people. Healing Zenith this turn. He has 2 uses of his punch left, so we might be seeing the final use of that pretty soon. Let's see, we're getting a break attack on Zenith. Okay, I was going to say, if that resolves, we're never going to see the final use of that punch. But I forgot, break is actually one of the things that the Aegis makes you immune to, along with virtually everything else. Okay, so with yet another one of our opponent's moves or turns neutralized entirely by that one relic that I used once this fight. Let's press on here. Let's no one to heal, so I'll see if he's vulnerable to Blizzard. Poison didn't do the job, but maybe Poison will. Here's the final use of the punch, and usual stuff from the other 3, though the Arquebus is getting low on uses, I should note. Another 300 or so damage from the Muramasa. We have a Thunder, so Elodie will have something to heal next turn. Oh, I keep forgetting the Aegis Shield. It's good for everything. Okay, so we got the final punch from Zenith there. I missed my chance to use the thread because the punch animation is pretty short. Alright, but we did get another threat opportunity, allowing Elodie to use Blizzaga on her turn. As you can see, this is a much more powerful fight than the one against his son. Taking a little bit longer. Continue using Blizzard, and now Zenith has to switch it up. His punch is all gone, and I'd like to conserve both the flying knee kick and the triple lunge since they're both so low on uses. We'll just use the cross counter instead. Continue using the Arquebus with Natsumer, Dragon Sword with Virtue, and Muramasa with Ronin. I hope I have enough money to restock, because I not only need to buy a Staff of Healing for Elodie, but Zenith and Natsumer could both really benefit from getting a new weapon. So, might have to go find some money before I advance too much further into the game here. We get a cross break attack. I think it's the first time I've seen one of those. That's the combo attack associated with the Dragon Sword there. Enemy still standing, but not doing a whole lot to us. Guess we'll just run it back. See if I can maybe wrap things up this round. Ronin fails to get the final hit there. Getting a Hayate from the opponent, dealing some damage to Elodie that she can heal next round. A miss from Virtue, right into a pair of combo attacks. Alright, so we're going to see a Blizzaga this round. Happy to get that, as always. How are we doing here? A little over 300 damage, but, well, a little under 400, really, but not enough. So much HP this guy has. Almost as much as the fish statues he surrounds himself with, if not more. But we're going to keep it going. Thunder's not going to do anything, guy. Oh yeah, I guess I could have told Elodie to heal on her turn, but the odds of him actually defeating her are pretty low. He would have to use Hayate again, or Divine Wind, I suppose, but he's only done the Divine Wind the one time. Ooh, we get a Hell Blizzard. That's a little bit different. I wonder what caused her to get Hell Blizzard instead of Blizzaga. That's interesting. Well, it's a different color, but otherwise same effect. I'm going to go ahead and play it safe and use Cure, just in case he decides to drop the Divine Wind again. But he hasn't yet. That miss from Ronin. That's unfortunate. Okay, passing things over to Natsumer with another combo attack. Sniper shot, not dealing a lot of damage. Ooh, he did use the Hayate on Elodie, but it wasn't quite enough to finish her off, so she does get to heal. So she's going to be fine regardless of what he does now. So, gonna use the Blizzard again. Just keep attacking everybody. Down to 4 uses on the cross counter with Zenith. I suppose I can start using his other attacks. Just well, should I save them? They're so low. I want to save them. We'll use the cross counter. Just keep on attacking. This shouldn't be too much longer, right? I've dealt so much damage. Though these misses, he must have a high agility for all of these misses. He used the Hayate on Elodie, but once again she survived. Actually, she's not going to be able to heal herself before his next turn, though, so if he decides to Hayate or Divine Wind on his next turn, that could be it for her, so let's hope I wrap things up. And I didn't. Alright, so targeting Elodie with Cure, but if he decides to finish her off, he can. It's entirely in his court right now. Ooh, okay, we get a Lightning Star. Is the Lightning Star going to finish things up before I have to worry about it? It is! Okay, so that's the second time for me she's finished up a fight. And we get a Break Glare on Elodie. It's finally something other than a Poison Fog and a Cold Wave in her 4th slot. And if Break Glare inflicts Break, like I'm guessing it does, that seems like a really powerful thing for her to get. And she gets a defense increase for using her shield at the start of the fight. Get a max HP increase for Zenith, along with agility as well. Strength for Natsumer. And 30,000 Kiro. That's a lot more than the 1 I got from Shogun. And it might be enough to buy all of that stuff I was saying I need to buy. Yeah, really fantastic to see all of my characters surviving a boss battle. Always really happy when that happens. And it means that I got a high-level spell on Elodie. Like, the only way I would be able to get Break Glare at this point in the game is probably from a boss, because his level is so much higher than the levels of all of the other enemies in this world. Okay, and we're going to get all of the relics that he had that were the source of his power. Appropriately enough, we're starting things out with a Lightning Crystal, and we're also getting a Speed Crystal and a Poison Crystal. And additionally, we're getting the relic Moon Rabbit Ears, which will give me the ability Preemption, which will probably make me better at getting the preemptive strike in battles, perhaps? Ronin says that it's finished. Yep, we've done it. We've secured all of the relics in yet another world. So what'll Ronin do now, I wonder? This is nice. We get to see all 3 of the friendly characters we've met in this world assembled together, all in good shape. And a touching moment between Otomo and Ronin. She's embarrassed. Yeah, they do make a good match. I agree with Zenith. Best of luck to them. The turtle's happy too. It seems that they're shy about it, but the 2 of them will make a nice couple. We'll leave them behind here and head on to the next world on our own. We only have 8 relics remaining, 69 out of the 77 in total. I will do my best. I do intend to make the Colonel proud. And I don't know about visiting again, but I'd like to. Let's see. Yep. They're just going to say the same things they said at the end of the cutscene. So, thanks a lot to these guys for their help in this world. Thanks a lot to you for watching, and I will see you next time when I head to the next world.